Hi, I'm Ray. After posting a couple videos, and yes, 3 is a couple, it definitely felt like a couple, I received a wide array of different comments, and a common theme among them is usually, hey, I want to do this, but I just don't know if I could pull it off. Now before the gears in your head start rolling uncontrollably, this isn't to dog on the people making these comments. Let's get that notion out of your head immediately. There is absolutely nothing wrong with saying these things because, especially when you're starting something new, it's not a crazy, out of left field thing to think. So I'll cut the yapping and cut to the chase. If you're on the fence of whether or not to start creating whatever it is you want to create, I'll give you 10. Yeah, 10 reasons on why you should start doing so. If none of my reasons sway you or they seem like BS, that's okay. You just don't see the vision yet. Come back in 6 months and then try again. So, without further ado, here are 10 reasons on why you should pick up the pencil. I'm gonna be so for real. It was always so corny watching love interests try to woo each other through song. If that was me duetting with someone at a party, I'm looking at you, Troy Bolton, I would not gaff. Cause there's no way I'm embarrassing myself by not singing the right words because I'm too busy looking through my peripherals, looking at my designated love interest. And my designated love interest will not embarrass me either. Cause girl, you better get your eyes off of me and get them glued onto that screen. We have a song to sing. Now, hypothetically, if I were sitting by my extremely non-existent window, and if someone so happened to be standing outside that window, pulled out a painting of me that they put their blood, sweat, and tears into, absolute cinema. Being able to do art is a skill, and taking time to hone that skill is what makes art all the better. And art can't be imitated through a couple of word prompts. Trust me, we'll get there when we get there. Being able to create art is amazing, and in my honest opinion, you should be able to brag about it to everybody. I don't know. To your friends, to your designated love interest, to your enemies, to your resume, to your future employers that may or may not be your future enemies. You get the idea. Art is an admirable talent, but in order to show it off, you gotta pick up that pencil first. You see where I'm going with this? You get me? You get me? If you were to set a vase in front of a group of artists and told them to freely draw and interpret what was in front of them, there's a high chance you'll probably end up with dozens of different pieces. How you interpret and create art is a form of self-expression and allows people to see the world through your eyes. It's similar to how you dress, how you walk, and how you generally carry yourself. By creating art, you're able to convey who you are and what you're interested in pretty easily. So, pick up that pencil and let people know what you're all about. Okay, I know this one is like god obvious, but sometimes it just needs to be said. Making art makes you more creative. Yes, that's obvious. Put the pitchforks down. By making art, I strongly believe that you develop an artist's eye. Follow my line. I don't know if there's any scientific studies that focus on the existence of an artist's eye, but I can tell you with experience and full confidence that there is such a thing. The more I drew, the more I found myself constantly analyzing the environments around me through a more creative lens. I found myself finding ways to incorporate art into my daily mundane tasks, which made them so much more interesting and fun. I can tell you, there are so many projects that I've done in school where I was able to freely interpret. Trust me, I wish I could show you, but my memory's too scattered and I do not want to dox myself. So you're just gonna have to trust me. By learning art, you end up developing a creative eye, which allows you to approach different tasks through a new and inventive lens. Wait, what's that? You wanna prove me wrong? The creative eye is not a thing. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. That's totally fine. You want to prove me wrong so bad, you just have to pick up that pencil and show me otherwise. Right? Even if you think otherwise, you will learn something through making art. What you learn depends a lot on what you're interested in anyways. When I first started posting art online, it was in the form of gotcha edits. Yes, we're going there again. It's very vital to my life story, my lore. I wasn't incredibly great at them, but I did want to improve, so I ended up watching a couple different tutorials in speed paints. Did my edits look good after watching these tutorials in speed paints? Hell no! But that's the thing, I knew I wouldn't make my magnum opus after a single tutorial, so I kept trying until I saw improvement. Through these tutorials, I found myself learning about color theory, composition, and more. As you learn more about art, you learn more about the world, and you begin to see things in a less objective and rigid lens. All you had to do was follow my line. I told you we would get there. In order to diversify your skill set, you'll have to learn a couple things, and it'll soon become nearly second nature to put what's on paper into practice. I've been saying this over and over, and don't get tired of me saying it yet, cause this is definitely not the last time. All you have to do is pick up the pencil. If there ever comes a point where you start drawing and you look at your screen absolutely distraught with the state of your abilities, I guarantee you, keep that chin up and keep that posture and back hunched, because there is no world in which you will be worse than whoever quote-unquote makes AI quote-unquote art. I said I get to it, and here we are. AI art is definitely one of the most soulless things to come out of any technological advances within these past few years. Stringing together words, which, let's be real, half of them were probably Googled an hour earlier because their lexicon can't hold that much to begin with, is talentless. It wrongfully capitalizes on artists' works published throughout time, and bragging about doing so is simultaneously the lamest and saddest thing someone could do. Like, ew. Brother, ew. I'm imagining in some distant parallel universe, I'm a parent and I'm approached by my two kids. One that drew something themselves, albeit a bit wonky, and the other that AI generated a picture that looks worse than my second grade science project. I guarantee you one picture will be on my fridge with a gold star and a happy face, and the other will be in the trash alongside the dictionary that was used to make it. Feel free to take a guess on which is which. If you don't want to be that kid and end up with your lame AI art in the garbage, I highly suggest that you go on and pick up that pencil. I've said pick up the pencil dozens of times, so I think now would be the best time to clarify that this is just the saying. Like look. Everything I'm saying here doesn't solely apply to drawing, so you can wipe the sweat from your forehead. You do not just have to draw. When I say pick up the pencil, you can interpret that as literally anything. The good thing about art is that there isn't just one type, and there isn't exactly one style. If all art had to be made the same exact way, then what would be the point of making it anyway?
Oh, that rhymed. I'm a lyricist.
On top of that, although this video talks primarily about visual art, I say that writing and music applies to this video as well. If there's a story that you've been itching to put on paper, go pick up that pencil, like literally. Or, well, Notes app? Google Docs? AO3? What do you writers use again? And if there's a specific melody that's stuck in your head, go to that DAW, dog. When creating, you're free to experiment with any medium as much as possible. There is absolutely no limit. Just don't feel like you have to rush and establish a style immediately. You'll find your rhythm soon enough. But in order to do that, first you gotta, and say it with me now, pick up that pencil, thank you. I've realized I love drawing because I adore showing my friends and family my work, no matter how unpolished or terrifying it may be. Those same friends and family eventually gave me the courage to share my art with you guys today. I definitely wouldn't have pushed as hard to make art if I didn't have people around me to share my art with. I've also met so many people that I'm still friends with like 4 years later through my art. Isn't that crazy? To be honest, I used to be super anxious about how people viewed my art online, and I fully believed that the traction I received was indicative of my talent. Having my friends around me offer genuine criticism while maintaining the same excitement that they had seeing my art would honestly keep me going. And you don't have to have a following to have a sense of community. You can go to different sites and find mutuals that also make art, such as Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, etc, etc. You can also join art discords and participate in events that they hold, which includes mine. Hey, it's in the description below. Hey. You can even join art clubs within your schools or communities. There's always going to be a place for artists as long as you look hard enough. And if there isn't, make that space. Who's stopping you other than yourself? AKA, pick up the pencil. Okay, you can call me a hypocrite all you want. Maybe I've made a couple comments on how hard art is sometimes. I think I was valid in my crash outs. But I'm speaking genuinely from the bottom of my heart. Art is super fun. Like, I keep coming back to it time and time again for a reason. This is a lot more subjective than the other reasons I gave before. And everyone will most definitely have a different experience. We are all our own people, and our experiences will never be carbon copies of each other. However, this isn't to discourage anyone from trying any type of art. I'm giving my positive anecdotes so that you can be encouraged to try it yourself. Maybe you will have the same experience and maybe you won't. I still think you should pick up that damn pencil. For my last reason, I know so far that this video has had really lighthearted and silly undertones, but it's my self-proclaimed civil duty to end each video with some sort of lesson or takeaway. Don't worry, this one has nothing to do with jumping out of windows, and if you want context, you're gonna have to rip it from my cold, dead hands. Or just watch my last video, it was pretty cool. That stuff aside, I think that self-expression and individuality are really important values that we should hold on to. And it's unfortunate that there are people who are still disallowed the ability to do so, navigate their identity, the world, their beliefs. I'm not saying you have to constantly make huge art pieces that are packed with heavy and impactful motifs all the time, but it is something that you should do at least once. It's really cool. I'm saying that you should embrace the ability to create art while you can. Art is a gateway for meeting people. It's a way to express your thoughts, your talents, and ideas. Art isn't just one thing, and its variety is what makes it so accessible. STEM-related endeavors are important, but so are the ones rooted in the humanities. We would not be where we are today without art and its influence. This isn't something bigger than us, this is us. It's what makes us human. Why would you prevent yourself from embracing that? Or something. Maybe I'm spouting BS and maybe you, doubters, are right. I guess we'll never know until you give it a try. I mean, how will you know if you never pick up the pencil?